Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tuesday. We're gathered here today on another Tuesday evening. We're going to have a great time today. We're going to talk about all things first time cruises should pack, not pack, what to do, what not to do, what fun things to do, what not to expect, what to expect, and all of those great things. And hopefully, um, make sure if you have some questions, put it down in the comments and we can answer those questions for you. If you have also a tip for those first time cruisers, put it in the comments. And so that way they can actually know, especially if you cruise or if you travel. So we're going to talk about all sorts of cool tips for first time cruises. This is a great show. I figured that I do have a lot of first time cruisers and they always ask about all the different things. So I figure, why not talk about it, right? Hopefully you guys are all almost ready for Christmas. We are 15 days away. Have you guys shopped already? Are you guys done shopping? You know, I have a couple of more stuff to buy. But let me go ahead and say hello to everybody here on the stream so far. We have Cruise Nuts. Welcome back, Mike and Tracy. Hello, Mr. Frank. Thank you so much for being here. Scott McNeil. Thank you, sir, for being here. I love that every time that I see Scott, he has a different picture. So today he's the Grinch. Welcome back, Jen. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, guys, I don't know if you guys have finished either purchasing all your gifts or finished packing and all of that stuff. Today it was a rough day for me. I took a day off just to finish, buying all the stuff that I needed to purchase and to mail out all the Christmas cards to all of my clients. To find out that once I went through all of that process of putting it together, putting all the labels and all of the stamps, I go to the post office and they said, well, you need more stamps. So the stamps that I bought, it was not enough because I usually send them as a postcard, but I actually put them in an envelope to make it more formal, for Christmas. And yep, I ended up having to buy another, different types of denominations. So we just finished them finally today. So they are going to be in the mail tomorrow. So if you're one of my clients, you're going to get an actual expect a Christmas card from Traveling with Tinkerbell as a thank you for being part of not only the community but also part of the travel part. So with that being said, let's start off this show. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, a lot of people had asked me, we're first time cruisers. We don't know exactly what to expect, what not to expect. So here are some tips as a travel agent, and then I'm going to give you tips that I actually found online. A lot of people maybe not even read these kinds of things, but when I was reading through them and researching, I think they're pretty, good for you guys. As a travel agent part, as a first time cruiser, especially with this whole situation, I don't know if you guys have heard, there was a lady that came out in the news a couple of days ago. She had purchased, I guess, a Utopia of the Seas through Royal Caribbean on Facebook. Welcome in, and thank you so much for being here today. So she purchased this cruise on Facebook, and while I was looking through the information, it's just mind-boggling to even know that she never even processed an account through Royal Caribbean. She never opened, or registered herself on Royal Caribbean. She never checked that her reservation was legit. And then to send somebody money through Cash App, that is something that I would say don't do unless you know the travel agent and that travel agent is sending you the legit documentation. And I'm going to say this because I have had two instances in almost the 4 years that I've been doing this, where I have one client that she's been a client of mine for the longest now. And she didn't have a credit card at the time because her, her credit card had fraud situation and she was waiting on it and she needed to make final payment. So what she did, she transferred the money into my business account. And then I actually made the payment there and I sent her the confirmation. And I did all of this through an actual phone call with the customer in line, and all of that. But to hear that you send money like in Cash App and stuff like that, and you don't even know this person, and you found this person on Facebook, guys, keep an eye on that, because there's scammers all over the place, and you really don't want to fall into that. And it's just super sad to know that here you are, you pack, you're ready to go, you're going on this cruise, you and your whole family, to then Royal Caribbean to tell you don't have you don't have booking with us. So it's just a little crazy. So one of the cool tips that I will say as a travel agent, when you're coming, whether you're working with a travel agent or you're actually booking it yourself, whether Expedia, Priceline, or wherever, keep in mind that when you finish purchasing that cruise, and if you don't have an account with whether Royal, Norwegian, Carnival, MSC Cruises, whoever you're purchasing it through Celebrity, make sure you actually sign in for an account. Make sure that you put in your booking confirmation. Some of the engines will ask you for booking confirmation, last name, and possibly your date of birth, depending on the engine that you're working with. So you got to put on all that information. Make sure that you can see your reservation. Make sure that you're able to purchase all your short excursions, drink packages, and different things, and get familiarized with that specific company that you're working with. When it comes to entertainment, I suggest that try booking entertainment upfront, unless it tells you otherwise, that you got to wait until you get on board to book entertainment. Another good thing that I always say as a travel agent to a new customer is always research the ship. Get familiarized with that ship that you're actually going to be traveling with, with all the different decks. Make sure you check the ports, what's there to do around the ports. Do all the research ahead of time. A lot of the questions that I also get is, do they have a white party? Do they have an 80s party? Welcome in, PK Adventures. Thank you so much for being here, sir. So they ask you, do you have like white parties, 80s parties, togas party, all sorts of party. That information we don't get. And for those of you that don't know this, we don't get that information, one, because anything can happen on your voyage. It could be one of those things that, you were supposed to be at a port that day and they got canceled for due to weathers or whatever. And the ship can change and shift all sorts of stuff. So they don't actually tell us that information. But most of the ships that you guys travel on, they do have like white parties and 80s parties and things like that. So always pack accordingly for all of those things, just in case. Also, one of the things that I always recommend, I have some people that come to me because they want to go on a vacation just to stay on the ship. And then I have some people that is all about the ports. If you are about the ship, make sure that the ship you're traveling in, or the one you want to go to, is going to work for you and your needs and whatever it is that you're expecting. If you are more of a port person, I will suggest to always verify, the ports that you're going with, what do they have, and things like that. For example, I went on the Carnival Paradise, what was it, like a month and a half ago, and we went and we stopped at Montego Bay. I've been to Jamaica before. I've been to the Falmouth. I know exactly what that port looks like. And I could just say, if I don't want to do an excursion, I could just hang around the port. In Montego Bay, guys, it's not like that. That's the reason why I say research your port, check and see what's there around. Just in case, if you don't want to do an excursion, you just want to get off the ship and maybe have coffee or a snack or whatever, make sure that that port has what you are needing. That's another good tip for you guys. If you're traveling with big families or small families with little kids and all of that, make sure that you let that travel agent know that you're traveling, what ages are these children, so that way they can fit you with the right company, and that way your family and yourself and your children will have a great time on board. One of the other tips that I will say, as a let's take away the travel agent part, but as a regular cruiser, is research your port, check all the amenities your cruise has to offer. Also verify that you're taking your passport or your birth certificate. I suggest that you get a passport, because even though that it's not a requirement that you need a passport, because you can travel with birth certificate and a driver's license, but you always have to keep in mind the unknown, the situations where you don't know, something might happen, some medical situation and you got to stay, whether in Cozumel or Jamaica or wherever you are, now you're going to need an expedited passport, and that's going to cost you about $240. So it's way costly, and it's only for 15 days. So it's not like if it's a passport that you can keep for 10 years. It's a temporary passport for 15 days. You're going to pay twice the money for it. So might as well, if you can save a little bit of money, get a passport. Another thing that it's a must is a travel protection, guys. Always purchase travel protection, because you never know. You don't want to be in a situation where you're stuck and you have a big issue and you don't know how to have, the funds for all of that, and you don't have no travel protection. Welcome in, Katie. How are you? Welcome in. But, these are the different things that as a first-time cruiser, you guys need to know. It's always good to be, overly protected than not be protected at all. So passport, birth certificate, driver's license. If you're going to Europe, you're going to need a passport. There's no questions about that. You cannot travel outside of the, international without a passport. Another question that I got from a first-time cruiser was, what happens when the person it's here but she can only travel within the United States? And some people want to know, because they can travel in Hawaii, because Hawaii is part of the United States. Yes, you can do it as long as you're traveling from United States to Hawaii. You get on the ship and you go around Hawaii and come back. You can do that kind of stuff. Katie says, I always cruise with a passport. Yep, you always have to cruise I always cruise with a passport, because you never know, and you don't want to be in a situation where now you really need one and you got to now take out more money. Welcome in, Angie. How are you? Welcome in. Another good tip that I also kind of found online. Like I said, research your cruise ports in advance, especially if you're first-time cruiser. Don't try to just book a cruise just to pick, because you like one specific port. Just make sure that you like the other ports as well, because you're going to be stopping in those ports. And, keep in mind, maybe you might not like something about that port, but it's always good to get off that ship and, explore at least a little bit. As a TA, this is as a TA tips for you, whether you're a first-time cruiser or a long-time cruiser, never pay off your cruise before that final payment date. Because if the price were to go down for one reason or another, you still can do a price reduction or a price change on your cruise. I do have a lot of people that like to pay upfront. I always tell them, leave a couple of $100 to $300 on there until your final payment is due. So just in case if something were to go down, you have advantage of that. Because once you pay it off, some of these cruise lines will not work. They will say, nope, it's paid off. We're not going to do a price reduction. And sometimes if the price go down, you can talk to them, and not all the cruise lines process these, but you can always try to get a little bit of a higher upgrade just to wiggle, that specific amount that you were trying to reduce. So sometimes we can work with that kind of a stuff. But, just to let you know about that information. Also, research the weather, guys. How would the weather be during that time that you're planning on cruising, which is very important, because you don't want to be going to places on rainy season over there. So do some research on the weather if you think about it. Also, pack dresses and different things, and make sure that if you are a person that likes to swim and things like that, I would suggest to pack a little backpack or something, and make sure you put a bathing suit, little things that you need right away when you get on the ship. And that way you don't have to wait for your luggage to get there or anything like that. Samara, the Queen of Disney, is here. Controversial Cruising. Hello, Scott. How are you? But when it comes to that, if you're a person that likes to, jump in the pool immediately and all of that, then you need a little backpack with all your essentials, so that way you'll have it with you as a first-time cruiser, because you want to enjoy everything. But just don't overly look at the situation, because I know that sometimes, either if you're looking at the fun times or the compass or whatever these things are called, depending on the cruise line that you're going with, it could be a little bit overwhelming to see all the different activities and you just want to do it all. Just pick some of them. If you do them, you do them. And if you don't, just relax and enjoy, guys. That's the whole point of cruising. Now, another tip that I can tell you, if you're a first time cruiser, you do want to have that lunch, that buffet lunch on embarkation day, because embarkation day is one of the hardest things to go through. And for those of you that are here on the chat, you guys can attest to this. It's a little bit stressful because, you're going through all of the motions of waking up that morning, being super happy, excited that you're going on a cruise, making sure all your luggage is there, making sure you're getting to that port, or even if you're parking, make sure your luggage gets on that shuttle or put it on the luggage racks for the porters to take into the cruise. And then you walk inside of the terminal, you get all your information, all your ducks in a row, and then you're on to your vacation. So by the time you get on the ship, by the time the cabins are ready at 1:30, you are exhausted. So you want to make sure that you have, like Angie say, have a guy's burger, go have some lunch, relax a little bit. And for those of you that like to have pool action and all of that, then bring your bathing suits probably on you and all of that so you can be ready to go. Because at 1:30, once 1:30 comes along, your cabins should be ready to be, that way you can live in your cabin and all of that. You can go get, they have, how do you call it? They have towels for those of you that are using the pool and things like that. So it's always cool. It's always cool. You're not going to need all of that other stuff, but make sure that you have all this information. Try not to overwhelm yourself as a first time cruiser, because a lot of people overwhelm themselves because they want to do everything. Another tip as a first time cruiser is to pick a good cabin, guys. You don't want to be in everywhere unless you're in a strict budget and you want to do a guarantee where you really don't care where they put you. You could do that. But if you're a first time cruiser and you don't know if you're going to get seasick or whatever, I usually tend to put, my first time cruiser more on the middle of the ship, so that they can have a great cruise experience, because that's part of it. Let me see. Okay, so they're just having a conversation over there. So, and that's part of your experience. Now, when it comes to drink packages, guys, always research your drink packages before you set sail. Research to see if these drink packages are going to accommodate your lifestyle, the person that you are, because a lot of people buy drink package, believe it or not, and they don't even use half of it. And then you got the people that buy the drink package and they feel like they have to drink all of those in order to get their money's worth. Also, if you don't understand the service charges on a cruise ship, to avoid like tipping or double tipping on alcohol, that's something that you might want to research on. When it comes to gratuities, this is a sticky situation, these gratuities. You got a lot of people that add the gratuities up front. You have a lot of people that they want to pay the gratuities on board. And just to keep you keep this in mind, the drink package gratuity is completely different than the gratuities that you would apply towards your cabin stewardess or your maitre d's or things like that. They're two different gratuities. So make sure that when you're purchasing a drink package and they're charging you whatever the amount, that has its own gratuity. And then your cabin has its own gratuities. And this is something that has come up in several of my customers, and they have questions about it. Like I said, in the time that I've been a TA, I've had more people. I have the majority of the people add the gratuity, and then just a small amount, they rather pay it on board. They want to rather do it themselves and pay it, which is fine. Just keep in mind that when you do that, you're going to have that extra bill that you're going to see either daily or all at once on your sail and sign card. So just keep that in mind as you're traveling. Also, if you are traveling to your cruise as a first-time cruiser, I suggest you book the flights early, guys. Book your flights early, and don't book your flight for the same date you are traveling on a cruise. That's a big no-no. Even though a lot of people have done it and everything has gone well, I've heard A lot of people that have done it and they have canceled their flight in the morning, they never make it on time. I just had a customer last week where he was flying in to Miami on the same day, and the flight got there at 2 p.m. because he was delayed. Guess what? He didn't get on that ship. And then he tried traveling to NASA, and guess what? He didn't get on that ship either. So he lost all of his money. He completely lost all of it because he was not able to get on the ship, because when he found out, he had left his passport. So he couldn't even fly to NASA to get on that ship. Let me see. PK is saying here, the drink package have gotten expensive, that we will get the ultimate package, but if it builds into the rate we get for the cruise itself. Yeah, that is actually true. I agree with you. The drink packages have been crazy, the amount of money that they've been asking for these drink packages. I like coming in 2 days before my cruise so that I can relax. On Royal, we tend to go in for the refreshment package so that we can still get unlimited specialty. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, when you're traveling, guys, always do 1 day before. Always, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know the situation. You never know you don't know. You don't know the unknown. And even though that I have clients of mine that have traveled on the same date and everything has gone great, that's phenomenal, but you never know. So that's another tip for you guys. At the end of the day, it is your cruise. At the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do as you're traveling, and if that's your decision that you made. But just keep in mind that if that's the route you want to take, get that travel protection, because that's going to help you out. So we talk a little bit about booking the flights. Now let's talk a little bit about you're booking your shore excursions carefully. You want to make sure that you have a good time, guys. But you also have to keep in mind you're going, outside. You're going outside your comfort zone. Make sure that when you're booking these excursions, you read through them, you understand, because some of these excursions might not be what you think and might not be a fit for you. So keep that in mind. Hello, Harlan. Welcome in. So keep that in mind when booking excursions. And when you're booking these excursions, if you are a first-time cruiser, I've always suggest to always book with your cruise line for first-time cruisers. You might want to say, why, Jackie? Why you want to book them, when maybe you can get them through Viator or outside of the port or whatever. Well, when you're a first-time cruiser, as a travel agent, I never recommend to do that, because if for whatever reason that specific excursions runs in late and you come in late, guess what? You're stuck in that port. And it is your responsibility to get on another flight to get to the next port, or come back home and wait for that ship to get back with all your belongings. So that's the reason why. Now, if you're a seasoned cruiser and you already know all the ropes and in and out, then yeah, might as well just do it, because I've done it too. I've done outside excursions through other companies and they've gone well, very respectful when it comes to time. But you don't want to be in a situation as a first-time cruiser and be stuck in a different port of call in a place that you don't even know. So that's my tip for you guys when it comes to excursions. Read them carefully. Make sure that it fits the person that you are. Don't just think that because you see it's cute or whatever that you're going to be doing all of this, because let me tell you guys, I went to Dominican Republic and we did the Demajagua Falls. And that, when I read it, I'm like, okay, we're going to some falls and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you guys, that was the hardest excursion that I have ever done in my life. And the only reason why I said it was hard is because I am not as fit as I used to be. And to go through all of those mountains and climb all of that stuff that I climbed, I thought that I was not going to make it. And I was not the only one. There was other people that were also more healthier in a fit situation than I was. And they were struggling. So just keep that in mind, guys. When you are booking all of these excursions, make sure you see videos, research, to make sure, okay, this is something that I can do. Also, let me see, the ship tours. If you want to do ship tours, make sure you book those ahead of time. And those are really cool. If you've never done a ship tour, I suggest you at least try it, They're very cool. You actually get to see something different that you don't see on a daily. And I think is that they're phenomenal. They're all a little bit different. Ship tours, they do like the ship tour where you can see where the captain is and all of that. Then they also sometimes take you to the galley, and sometimes they take you to the backstage area, so you get to see all these cool things that regular people don't see. Now that comes with a cost, so keep in mind with that stuff. Now, also as a first time cruiser, a lot of people ask, where do we eat? Like what is included? Well, buffet is included, at for breakfast, lunch, and for dinner. But also these ships have what is called a specialty dining area. So those are at a cost. And if that's something that you want to try out, then you're going to have to make a reservation and go through all of that, and and get all of that reserved separately. So that's one of the things that you can also do. Disney, Samara said Disney has a ship tour for free. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. That's good to know, because I know that on Royal and the other ones, you do have to pay for the ship tour. When I went with my wife to Puerto Plata, she thought the shore excursion would be good. We barely made it back to the ship. See, there you guys have it. Samara, M wants to know, what did they show you on a Disney ship? If you can please put it on the comments for her, thank you so much. But see, there you guys have it. Sometimes, you think, oh, these excursions and all of this stuff and the other, and next thing you know, like, oh my God, like what did I get myself into? But yeah, so you have specialty dining, like I was saying. So those are at a cost, but you do get your buffet for your breakfast and lunch, and then you have your main dining. There's other complimentary areas that you can have, like, food and stuff like that. And they also have sea day brunch that is complimentary. Now, for those first time cruisers, one of the things that you have to do is the mandatory muster drill. Guys, if you, for all of us that are here, if you guys remember what the muster drill used to look like, and if you're going in as a first time cruiser, you would have never known that back in the time when I started cruising, like 16 years ago, you have to be outside. They will take you to this outside, like they will put you in rows in front of other people. And it was horrible. And you'll be sweating like crazy. It was like about an hour's long. Now, guys, you have everything on your phone. You do what you got to do. You go to your muster station. You checked in with them. They show you one thing or another. Boom, you're out of there. And if you're a first time cruiser, let me tell you, that's a win for you guys, because back in the time when I used to cruise, and maybe if Scott is here, Angie probably remember this, guys, we used to line up in front of, it was rows of lines of people. and that was their muster drill. It was crazy. Look, even see, Angie said the old muster drill was horrible. But you know what, Angie? We went through that. We lived through it because, it's cruise. That's what we do. Even Scott, flashback. It was crazy. It was just insane. So if you're a first-time cruiser, you don't know how good you have it. Also, guys, this is a really cool thing to do. Join a Facebook group. You don't understand how many people have asked me, how do I find more information about the place, or how do I know who's going? A Facebook group. I don't know. I commend the person that started these Facebook group things, but there's always on Facebook, if you're looking, let's say for Carnival Celebration, April 2025, you will find on Facebook a group on the Carnival Celebration on April 2025. And then you want to join that group, and everybody that's going to be going with you on that cruise, not the whole ship, but most of the people, they get together, they do slap pools, they do all sorts of really cool stuff like meet and greets and exchange of whatever they want to do. So I commend that you actually join one of those groups. I actually have done a couple. I have been the admin of some of these groups. Whenever I go, like I did one on Celebrity Beyond. I did one on, I think it was the Carnival Mardi Gras. I think I did one there. And it's just amazing. You get to not only know a lot of people, get to know a lot of people. You get to meet them, you get to interact and talk, just like what we're having the conversation here, but on Facebook. And these people you're actually going to get to see on embarkation day. So it's really cool. So that's a must thing to do if you're a first time cruiser or a seasoned cruiser, because I'm going to guess most of you guys here have joined a Facebook group. Disney still does oh my God, are you serious, Samara? They still do the old mustard? Oh my God. Woo! And you got to pay for all of that money to go on Disney? No, there is no way. Angie say, I love Facebook groups. Everyone is so helpful. Yeah, it really is. You actually get to know a lot of people, and the stuff that you learn is crazy. Love the Disney Facebook page, especially for fish extenders. Nice. Tinkerbell is right. Def join Facebook. It helps a lot when you meet tons of people. There you go. You might be chatting before the cruise, then no one speak to you on the ship. Very few at best. Yeah, you know what, Harlan? On there, I do give you the right on that one. Because most of them, you chat with a lot of people and then you don't even see them half of the time on the cruise. But yeah, that is very correct. Samara, what is fish extenders? Oh my God, Martin is asking because he's a fish person. They want everybody to run after the sail away party. You know what, Samara? Let me tell you, I've actually seen, I do follow some of the Disney vloggers, and you are right about that. Every time they go and then they're running like maniacs trying to get to the sail away because they want to get the good, views on the front. So I do agree with you there. That's crazy. Disney gotta step it up, guys. Now, this one is a really cool one, and I found it. And I said I need to bring this one up. If you're traveling as a first-time cruiser with a friend, guys, hi Will G, thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm glad that you're lurking in. If you're traveling as a first-time cruiser with a friend, would you guys be friends at the end of the cruise? That's something that I found as a tip. I'm like, what? So they say, according to the information that I read, that about 89% of the people that travel, friends, like girls that travel together, let's say me and M going on a cruise, or me and Samara, they say that 89% keep their friendship and the rest is a done friendship. They just split ways because they can't live with each other for however many days they were there. Ain't that crazy? But that actually is a tip. I found that and I'm like, what? So I don't know if you ever had that situation happen to you, but if you have, comment it and let's talk about that one. Also, as a first-time cruiser, make sure you understand the hidden costs outside of your cruise base fare, guys, which are the all-included, the spot treatments, the excursions, the onboard things that you can do that doesn't come complimentary. Make sure that you guys are verifying all of that and don't just assume that they come complimentary because you purchased the cruise. Angie says, I do well living with my husband on a ship. I love it, Angie. Harlan says, if you are friends at the start of the cruise, you may not be friends at the end of the cruise. The Queen of Disney says, I like the room for myself because I just need a bathroom category. There she is. Oh, that is so funny. I have to disagree with Harlan. I went with two friends of mine and we're still friends. There you go, Em. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I'm like, that is strange. That is very different. I've never heard of that one, but I said I have to bring that up. Now, this one is a very important one for those first-time cruiser. Let's talk about internet, because you have to have some Wi-Fi. If you purchase the Wi-Fi on the cruise, Just because you purchase the Wi-Fi on the cruise don't mean your telephone, your actual cellular device will work, guys. Just keep that in mind. Just because you purchase it, it doesn't mean that it will work. Make sure that you put your cellular device on airplane mode. Make sure you hook it up to the Wi-Fi with the actual cruise company. Make sure that you make that phone call a week or so prior to your cruise to your cellular company and let them know, hey, I am taking a cruise. I have AT&T personally, and I always call AT&T a week ahead and I say, hey, I'm going on a cruise from this day to this day on this specific Royal Caribbean, let's say Utopia of the Seas, and I want to buy your unlimited package. It costs me about $100. Every cell phone company has a different package for you, but I'm just going to talk about my experience with AT&T. It cost me $100, and then I can use my actual cell phone at sea. I can make phone calls, I can text, and all of that. Now, for those first-time cruisers, you might want to check into this, because don't just assume that your phone is going to automatically work. Depending on your cell phone carrier, I think it's like $2.50 per minute and 50 cents per text. And that's not even including the data. So you might want to check that into. But if you buy the internet package and you're going to use it on a cruise, make sure your phone is on airplane mode. And if you buy the Wi-Fi package, you're able to use you can use your instant messenger or WhatsApp to call your family, and you don't have to actually use the phone itself, but you can use these other apps to get a hold of your family through Wi-Fi, through just the internet package that you bought on board for that cruise. And that is very important for you guys to know, because I do know of a couple of people that have actually gone on a cruise and they came back, and a month later, their bill is like humongous. Just keep that in mind. Your phone does not work everywhere. Donnell, welcome in, my love. Thank you so much for being here. I haven't talked to you in a little bit. But yeah, your phone does not work like here, like it works normally. So you have to make sure that you don't incur extra charges, guys, because you're going on a cruise. You don't want to come back and have a huge cell phone bill. Let's see what PK Adventure says. Airplane must is a must for us. We do not have international package with T-Mobile, but it does not include cellular at sea. We have to connect in the port of call. So there you guys have it. The Queen of Disney, iMessage is free through the Disney, just can't send any photos. There you guys go. Miss Angie says we get the social package internet to be able to keep in touch back home on Facebook Messenger. So see, that's how you guys get, your information, and that's how you guys cruise. That's why the community is built, to bring you guys all of this information so that you guys can enjoy it. Now, some other cool tips that I also found, and I think these were great ones. It's hold on, guys. When you're traveling, I don't know about you guys, and maybe this is a conversation to have here about this whole situation. When you first started cruising as a first-time cruiser, you probably packed your whole entire house and took it with you. I know, because I have a couple of my friends that sometimes when I see them traveling, I'm like, what are you doing? They take at least 4 different luggages. I know they're a little extra, but they have one for shoes, one for clothes, one for all sorts of accessories and things that they got to have. And I love all of my friends, and that's cool, and whatever they want to do. But don't overpack, because I guarantee you 100% that half of the time you're not even going to use half of the stuff you take. And guys, correct me if I am wrong. More than enough of the time, guys, you're not going to use all of that stuff you took. It's crazy. But see, Angie says, good grief. I'm an overpackers. Look, Samara says, I just take my Mickey luggage. Okay, but just one luggage, Samara, you take a couple. Oh, and then you gotta buy. That's right. And then you gotta have space for the merch. You gotta have space for that merch. But look, Angie says you're so right. Never wear half of it, but I like options. So see, Miss Angie, I love you because I have my friends, and I laugh every time I travel because I'm like, what are you all doing? My daughter, I travel with my daughter most of my time, and she's probably gonna kill me for me saying this, or maybe not. I don't know. How many of you guys here bring your own pillows? She brings two pillows and her fan on board every single time we cruise, guys. It's crazy, but that's how she cruises. So she brings two luggages, one whole big one with all her clothes and her pillows and all of that, and then the smaller one that carries her fan and all of the other stuff. Look, Miss Angie says no pillows, but I'll take my 6-inch USB fan. I tell you, look, Em says I have a huge one myself. That's why I was asking Tig how much room is there under the bed. Guys, you have room. There's room under the bed to put your luggage. I'm not, you have enough room. Harlan says, don't bring pillows or fan. Cruise line supplies that. They do, but half of the times they don't have the fans. And let me tell you this, my daughter's fan is really cool. It's very versatile. It's very small, very compact, and it has that room. You're like in an ice box. It is so cold, that room, when we come in at night. It is crazy, but that's how she packs. And it's crazy to know that people do that, but don't overpack, guys. And I'm with Miss Angie. We girls like options because you never know. Anything can happen, and then you want to have that specific dress with the shoes that go together and all that. I get it. But trust me, you're not going to use half of the stuff. And as you continue to cruise, let me tell you, when I started cruising, it's funny. And this is a true story. When I started cruising, I used to take about 3 luggages myself. I'm down to one. I'm down to one. And my little luggage that has my laptop and all my camera gear and all of that stuff. So that comes with me. The other one goes on, to the porters. But in half of the stuff that I bring, I sometimes don't even use. So that's how I know that, we always overpack. Um, M says a fan. I would never bring a fan. Why? The ship has AC and heat. You don't understand. My daughter needs her fan. She needs to hear that fan thing so she's able to sleep. I wish she was here. She probably tells you nobody cares if you wear the same clothes more than once. That is true, Miss Angie. That is true. My fan is for my white. See, that's the same thing with my daughter. She has to have that noise. I love clothes, so I pick to take that says the cruise name from Etsy. Oh, look at the queen. She's over there. Look at her going on Etsy shopping. I wear what I bring, even if I purchase more clothes during the. Oh my God, I love it. I love my sleep. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation. Now, this one is a really cool one. And when I looked at this, I'm like, what? But it could happen. Bringing your own liquor on board. Guys, it's a big no-no. You don't bring liquor on board. The only thing that you can bring is a bottle of wine per person, and that depends on the cruise line. And you got to pay a corkage fee of, I think, $15, if I'm not mistaken. But you can't bring like the hard liquor on board. That's a big no-no. They're gonna tell you, like, look, you got to leave that behind. It get confiscated. So that's one of the things that was here. Okay, who of you guys bring extra toiletries? Anybody? I don't bring extra toiletries. I just bring what I'm gonna need, and that's all that I bring. If I'm traveling with all of my kids, then I might go ahead and bring extra just in case because I'm traveling with them. But when I'm doing it, me and my daughter, I just bring the things that I need for me. I don't bring wine or liquor. Cruise line supplies that too. That is very true. We took a bottle of wine and we never opened it. And a 12-pack of soda, but I hate carrying it around. Look, I was like, mouthwash. Oh, look at Donnell. Donnell is the queen of the extra toiletries. But Donnell also travels with Jen, and sometimes she travels with Lexi. So it all depends. Shampoo and conditioner. Yeah, that is a must. And you got to have, especially if you have like a specific shampoo and conditioner that it goes with your hair. I do agree with that one. I'm one that I bring my Olaplex. I use Olaplex. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, Olaplex. So I use that for my shampoo. Mel usually brings shampoo and conditioner. I use what is in the shower. PK is like, I'm just gonna use whatever they give me for free. Our own shampoo, conditioning, and lotion. Look at deodorant. I put my shampoo and conditioner in small bottles. I'm with you there, Miss Angie. And Samara, when you want the wine, you will be partying on the sun deck and too lazy to go back to the room and buy a drink. Monopoly, that is true. But yeah, guys, so that is another tip for you guys. Another thing that I also found on here when I was checking out what else, what cool stuff, so now you got to check out, your Facebook groups and all of that. Now, this is a cool one. And I don't know how many of you have done it. I've actually experienced it once on a cruise. But if you're a first time cruiser, maybe a private tour might work for you. I don't know how many of you guys have seen when you're looking in at your shore excursion where it says private tour and you see like a $300 or $400, whatever it is. Keep in mind that cost is for about 10 people. So if you're going to do an excursion, let's say, and you're paying $100 a person for an excursion, just to put numbers out there, and you see this private van tour thing. I did it one time, and guys, let me tell you, I loved it. I paid, I think it was like $300, and it was for 10 people, so I could bring 10 people with me. So when you get on embarkation, they leave you the information for that private tour, and they give you kind of like a map, and you get to choose the places where you want to go. And you have, I think, 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, depending on the time that you get on the port of call. And you can actually plan your own excursion. And the cool thing about these private tours is that you can go to anywhere and it's just you and your family or you and your friends or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, it's cheaper than actually purchasing an excursion at $100. Because if you think about it, if 10 people go with you at $300, that's like, really cheap for all of us to go all together. So that is a really cool thing. I do suggest, you check that out. Maybe that'll work for you. I actually did it. I actually have a vlog and it was in Dominican Republic. It's called The Private Van. You could check it out. And maybe that's something that you might want to check out and like. Samara says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. How come we have more than 20 people here and only 13 likes? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Harlan. Guys, like the show. We gotta let the YouTube know that everybody's here, like the show, so that the YouTube can tell other people and we could get more people onto here. We are so guilty of overpacking. We take small pharmacy plus 3 clothes as needed. It is semi-private, laugh out loud. When my wife and I took a tour of the ship, it didn't cost anything. Oh, that is really cool. That is really good to know. I take the bags and meds, like a small pharmacy that we go through medical. I bought a LL Bean carry case, which had a hung of the hook. And oh, that's the bathroom thing. Oh, that is really cool. I love it. That is so nice. See, guys, look, see us. She says 16 likes now. There you guys have it. Like, because at least, believe it or not, Facebook will tell that we're here, and then they'll let everybody else knows about it, and then we get more people on here. All right, so let's continue so we talk about the private tours. All right, so this is a good one for the first timers. Sign up for activities in advance as soon as you board. I know that on Royal, especially on the Oasis class and now the new Icon class, they don't allow you to do entertainment ahead of time like they usually used to before. Guys, I don't want you to be stressed. I've actually tested it out. where you can still have access to all of the shows without having to have a confirmation. Thank you, Em, for that. I appreciate it. Without having to have a confirmation or a reservation, I'm sorry. Because Martine and I went on Utopia, and we did some reservations and some that we just went to the show to see, and they actually let you in, and we had great seats. So I never had a problem. But if you're looking for something specific and a specific time, then as soon as you get on board, make sure that you check out the activities and get those activities on there as well. We always do a build a bear. Oh, I've actually seen those, Angie, on board. I've actually seen those. Also, like on Facebook, only two when I check in. Okay, that's all. That is really cool. I love my photo package on Disney is a must. Okay, the Queen of Disney, answer this question for me in the comments. How much does the photo package on Disney cost? Or does it come included? I don't think it comes included with your package, but how much does it cost? That's a good question. So that way, if anybody's ever going on Disney, we know ahead of time. One of the cool things for you to know, let's talk a little bit about the sell and sign card, the little card that they give you, which has a lot of information. It has not only has your dining room, your time of your dining, but it also has where your mustard roll is going to be. And that little card that you get, that sell and sign card, or the medallion, if it's on Princess, that has a credit card attached to that. So when you're on board of the ship, you are literally on a cashless situation. So everything gets applied to that sell and sign card, and then you get your bill, and then your credit card gets charged on there for that. So keep that in mind, that sell and sign card has a lot of information and things that you need to do, like if you have onboard credit and all of that is going to be on there. She says it varies length on the Disney cruise. Okay, only free if you did 50 Ooh, that's a lot of cruises. Where is Mr. Martin? I don't know, Mr. Martin. Can you come over here real quick so you can say hi? He's here. Mr. Frank said, we have the glass blowing class book, but can't schedule until the ship. Yeah, Frank is going on Celebrity Equinox, and he's going to be doing that that really cool glass blowing class. Here he is, guys. There he is. He's wearing his Fast and the Furious shirt today. Look at him. Sometimes the line assigns you wrong dining time. It happens a few times. It does. Yeah, Angie, glass blowing is really cool. It's only done on a few of the celebrity cruises. I know Equinox is one of them, and it's a really cool thing to do, especially I think if you want to take something that symbolizes like you were on the cruise. And I think it's a really cool souvenir because you actually get to create it with the help of the staff, and you get to create, and they have different types of ones that you can actually do. Samara says that for a 3-night sailing, the photo package is $229.95, so $230, and for 6 nights, $349.95. So guys, there you have it. If you are ever on Disney, make sure that you guys have enough money if you want to buy a photo package. And I think it's, when it comes to Disney, guys, I guess it's worth it if you have little ones and you want to make sure you embrace like all the pictures to have. So we already talked about keeping your phones on airplane mode. Download your cruise app. This is a must, guys. You have to download your cruise app. It will work when you're on board, and it does marvelous things for you, especially the Carnival Hub, the Royal app, the MSC app, and all of those. I have them all on my phone. And as soon, I put in my booking confirmation and all of that information there. And once you get on board, everything works fantastic. Only if you run after those characters. One cruise on Disney, no casino on board. There, I'm with you, Harlan, on that one. Okay, so Mickey Mouse is a gangster. Donna, I love you, girl. wait a minute. I went to a glass blowing class and the guy made an ice cream bowl, but he he killed it. I wanted laugh out loud. He was not completely smooth. That's why. Oh, the cruise line app could be a good thing. It is a really good thing. You get to see all the the festivities, everything, all the activities. You get to actually, if you're doing my time dining, you actually what happens if some people don't have phone apps, laugh out loud, just Fisher Price phone, oh my god. But those apps are really good, because you, if you have my time dining, you just go in there, you put in the time, blah blah blah, and while you're getting ready, your table is getting ready, and it'll tell you your table is ready, table number blah blah blah, and then you can just walk down the stairs and boom, inside of the dining room you go, and out the door. It is amazing. But the app works for all sorts of stuff. Customer service for ordering pizza and all room services. Like I didn't even know this, guys. I went on the Carnival Paradise, and thanks to Scott from Controversial Cruising, he's like, "Yeah, Jackie, you can order wings and they'll deliver it here." And I said, "What?" And yeah, they actually deliver it. You go on the app and you tell them where exactly it'll show you the deck plan. So you tell them exactly where you're at, and they bring it to you. And we order wings, and they brought it to us to the buffet, to the Lido deck. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I didn't even know that Carnival did that. But if you did not know that, now you know that on the app you can actually order it and they can bring it to you. And then you take a picture of yourself so they know who they're looking for. It's really cool. Yes, it was. Well, no, it was not free, because it was like after midnight, so it was not free. And Scott was here. We had wings. It was really cool. There you go. It was about $7, because it was, I think, afterwards. Scott, is it because it was afterwards, or that's just their price throughout the day? So yeah, if you guys did not know that about Carnival, I found out through Scott. So hey, I give it up to Scott. Everybody shout out to Scott, because he helped me with that one. And I even had to call, because I have a shellfish allergy. I just want to make sure that they don't, that they don't cook the wings with the fish or whatever, and they were very nice about it. So no, the wings always have a cost of $7 on the app, give or take. Okay, there you guys have it. Do you rush to do your online check-in? Actually, no. I've never rushed to do my online check-in. Even when I used to, before I was a TA, I just do it whenever the day comes. And I know of some people that wait until midnight and boom, they're on their computer with the online check-in. But I have different, like on Carnival, I'm almost diamond. On Royal, I'm almost diamond. On Celebrity, I'm almost, I'm elite on Celebrity. So I have like priority. So I don't have to like wait, but I do see, like Angie, I do mine at midnight. I rush at midnight like Cinderella. I could imagine you right now, Samara, over there, at 11:55. Let me have everything ready to go. We stay up to check it. Donnell, you stay up to check in. I love it. Look, Miss Angie says, I set up my alarm. So just in case I'm awake. The things that we do for cruising. I tell you, look, Samara says push it really good. The things I tell you that we do for cruising, it is crazy, the things that we do for cruising. Oh my God, it's been an hour already. I just noticed the time. Look, Mr. Frank says, I set up my alarm for 11:55. I could imagine Mr. Frank with his little, do you take coffee at that time? I guess not, because you're going right back to bed. That is too funny. I stay up to midnight to book princess gatherings. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm going to feel like the first time cruise by the time I go on my next one. That's right, because you haven't been on a cruise in a while. Even with the status, I'll try to be the first one on the ship. I can see that. No, get out the way. Get out the way. And Janice over there, the paparazzi's here. You guys don't know who we are. Oh my God, that is too funny. Some of the best things that happen on a cruise ship after midnight. You're right about that, Harlan. I just can't wait, guys, to our group cruise, Donnell. We're going to have such a great time. I know it's 8 p.m. already. Like, what the heck? Like, I feel like we just started the show. This has been a fun chat. Thankfully, I'm glad that you guys like it. And guys, next week, I just stay up till midnight and play with Disney music, laugh aloud, just need to glow sticks and Disney website breaks. Let me tell you guys, next week, I think you guys are going to like it. We're going to be having a special guest here with me, and we're going to be talking about the key. If you guys don't know what the key is, if you're ever at a Royal Caribbean, they actually have a package that is called the key. And the conversation is it worth purchasing the key? So next week, we're going to talk about that. And for those of you that like to travel in Royal Caribbean, you might want to come back next week because, guys, this is a lot of information. And this person that is going to be here with me, this special guest, he actually purchased the key every single time. And he's going to tell you why he purchased it, what are the good perks, and what are not the good perks of that key. So I've always told you guys, if there's something that you guys want to talk about, please let me know. And I'll be more than happy to bring it up. And if you want to come on the show, we can also do that. Tracy, thank you so much for being here. Tell Mom we said hello. I will, Miss Tracy. I will let her know. Sending big hugs to you and to Mike. I love you guys both. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. Don't sell on RCL anymore. Okay, but if you never know, you might find something good. The key is worth on sale only because of the internet. Okay, but we're going to talk about that next week at 7 p.m. next Wednesday. So we're going to come next Tuesday. Look at me, next Wednesday. So we're going to talk about that. Tomorrow, we're coming back. We're going to be talking about the port of St. Kitts. And tomorrow, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, we're going to be with Jeffy and Keith. Guys, don't forget that on December 18, mark your calendars. I already put the live stream out there for you guys. We are having the belated first year anniversary of Across the Waves. There's going to be giveaways for you guys, but you got to be on here with us for the giveaways. And we're going to have a great time. There's going to be a lot of memories, a lot of cool things that day. So please make sure you come back on December 18. Mark your calendars for that specific date. But tomorrow, we're going to be talking about St. Kitts, guys. And I love St. Kitts, and there's a lot of really cool things to do there on that specific port. With that being said, there you go, December 18th. Thank you, Em. With that being said, guys, we're past our hour. Oh, my God, this hour just went super fast. I don't know about you guys, but it just went flying. I guess we were having a good time. With that being said, I love you guys all to the moon and back. Please stay safe. God bless to each of you guys. And thank you guys so much for being here with me today. You guys mean the world to me. And I love you guys all a whole lot. I love you. And I see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. I can't wait. We're going to talk about St. Kitts. There's a lot of cool stuff coming down the road. Have a great evening. Love you guys. Toodles. Hasta luego.